Today we're in Halesowen in the West Midlands to check out a retro game shop I've never been to. Now, I've met the guys a few times at various gaming markets over the years, so let's go and check out Vintage Gamer. So I'm in the back room and there is stuff everywhere. So you've got a load of Nintendo Wii there, DS, and some big box PC games, either PC or Amiga. You've got some steering wheels up there, including one I used to have, which is that one there, but mine was an Electronics Boutique limited edition, and I think one of the managers got it from a conference, and it had a gold centre with the Electronics Boutique logo, and I think I won some sort of incentive in the store and won that, but for some reason I got rid of it, which I'm now kicking myself because it was a limited edition. Quick shot joysticks. And also this thing, what was this one called? Can't remember the name of it. But yeah, I had that many moons ago. I think I used it for my Amiga to play things like Afterburner. Got a random carrier bag there full of zappers, joysticks, G-Con 45s or G-Con 45-2s. More big box PC games. I'm so glad I don't collect for PC because those boxes are huge. And what have we got down here? Spectrum. Platoon. What's that for? Spectrum. I think these are all Spectrum games. Potato coin-ups. Spectrum. Pretty battered Double Dragon box there. We've got some PS3, which I don't collect because I don't consider PS3 retro, and the same with 360. And I know it's like going on for 20 years now, but I just can't class 360 as retro. I mean, I've only just started classing PS1 as retro. So make of that what you will. Some pretty battered boxed SNES games. And PS2. So this is right in the back of the shop, and they have a museum of sorts. So all these consoles on display. I don't think they're for sale, but there are some bits apparently in here that are for sale. random retro stuff. A boxed ZX Spectrum Plus there. And a Commodore Plus 4. If only that was a Commodore 16, I would have bought that, because I'm thinking of getting a Commodore 16. N64, Mega Drive, PS2 Slim. What's through there? Oh, that's the toilet. Okay. What's this? Atari ST. Atari monitor there. NES Super Set. NES Action Set. Couple of Commodore 64s. I think I'm going to have a rummage. I haven't spotted a Commodore 16 yet. The box for that's a bit battered. What's that? That's the Commodore Plus 4. BBC Micro. Another Commodore Plus 4. Ah, there's a Commodore 16. I don't think it's for sale. Or is it? Let's have a look. 85. I doubt there's a box for that. But yeah, I just love that grey colour scheme. And I have got the 1531 data set that goes with that. I don't need one, I just want one. It's one of those Pong clone, grandstand plug and play thing. A couple of BBC Micros there. One down there, what's that? Is that the, yes, that's the little Atari 130XE. I think that is, yeah, that's a Commodore disk drive. Huge thing. Got a C64 Mini. Ah, there's the data set that I've got. Philips CDI, Crystal Xbox, Atari 2600, Binatone TV Master. I think these are all like Pong clones. Princetronic, and a Duet Colour. That's from 1972. Is that Conic Speed King? No, it's the Bug. So I'm going to go and check to see if they've got anything on this list, and I'll see you when I get back home to see what I picked up. So that was Vintage Gamer, and as you saw, they had stuff everywhere. It's a great shop, and I was only there for about 2 hours. And if I'd have looked in every nook and cranny and boxes, I'd still be there today. And when I say they had stuff from the floor to the ceiling, they had stuff from the floor to the ceiling, as you saw in that room with all the PlayStation games. And like I mentioned in the video, I took my list with me, but unfortunately I didn't find anything except for Kung Fu Kid on the Master System, and the box or the inlay was a bit beat up, so I just left that where it was. Now, as it was Easter weekend, they had an Easter egg hunt, and it was basically little green pieces of paper dotted around the shop, hidden in plain sight, and on the back of each egg there was a number which corresponded to a prize on a list behind the counter. So I eventually found an egg, and I won £5 store credit, which I used on this. So this is my first ever game soundtrack vinyl. Now, I was hoping they would have Outrun, but unfortunately they'd sold that already, so I just settled for Galaxy Force 2 and Thunderblade. So Galaxy Force 2 is on side A and Thunderblade is on side B. And I don't think this has ever been played because it does look brand new. It comes with limited edition lithograph print of the Japanese Sega Saturn artwork of Galaxy Force 2. I mean, that artwork might have been on the original flyer, but I do recognise it from the Japanese Sega Saturn. And they also had the soundtrack to Altered Beast, which I nearly bought, but then I realised it wasn't the arcade soundtrack. It was the soundtrack from the Mega Drive or Genesis version, so I didn't bother picking that up. Now, I was going to pick up 3 Master System games, and I was only buying them for the instructions, and after I told him that, he let me buy the instructions on their own, and he only charged £5 each for these, so I now have the instructions for Rambo 3, Fantasy Zone and Gangster Town, which means I've only got 3 more games to get the instructions for. So the original Outrun, the original Wonder Boy, and the one that's going to be the hardest to get, the instructions for Missile Defense 3D. So I'm not sure how long that's going to take me to get. Now onto the actual games I bought. Now, the first game I saw was one I've been after for a while on the Amstrad Hit Squad, and it's one of the early Amstrad Hit Squads, so it's not like a heavy hitter. It's only number 7 in the arcade collection, but for some reason I've just not been able to find it, and that is Arkanoid. Now, this next one I picked up, and I was going to buy it just because of the condition of the box. And also, I had no idea that this arcade game had been released on the Amstrad. And that is Hot Rod. Now, this game is similar to, say, Super Sprint, like a top-down racer. I'm not the biggest fan of those games, although I do love supercars on the Amiga. Anyway, as I was checking the contents to see if it had the instructions and what have you, I noticed that the tape was hanging out. Let's just take it out of that bag so you can see it better. So yeah, I noticed the tape was hanging out, and I thought, well, I can just get a pencil or a pen and just wind it back up, but then I realised the tape is actually snapped. So I told the guy just to let him know that he's got a tape that's damaged, and he let me have it. So I'm not sure if I can fix that. I doubt it. Hopefully someone I know might be able to fix it, but it doesn't matter because I've downloaded the ROM, because, you know, I can do that legally now because I own the original, and I can play it on my GoTech on my 6128 Plus, even though I'm not really a fan of top-down racers. And I forgot to mention that the games I bought from Vintage Gamer are all for home micros. So we've taken a look at the 2 Amstrad games I bought, but I also got some Commodore 64, Spectrum, and even a couple of Amiga games. And the Commodore 64 games I got, the first one I had back in the day, and I can't believe it's taken me this long to reacquire this game. So I've had this Commodore 64 for about 11 years, and it's taken me 11 years to buy back this game, and that is Ghosts and Goblins on the Encore label. And unlike the arcade version, which has 6 levels, all home ports on the Spectrum, Commodore, Amstrad only have 3 levels. But it doesn't matter because it's a great game, and on the Commodore 64 it has a really, really good soundtrack. And on the back, where it shows the screenshots, for some reason the Commodore 64, they've just put the loading screen as opposed to an in-game screenshot. So yeah, that's Ghosts and Goblins. Next up is another game I owned back in the day, a very simple game. And again, it was on this particular label, the Pick and Choose label, and that is Chucky Egg. And the final game on the Commodore 64, I keep meaning to do a review of, but I've never actually owned the game before. But now I do, because I've never actually seen it out in the wild, and that is Mermaid Madness. So I don't really want to talk about this game too much, because I want to save it for when I do the review, and it's going to be on the Strange Retro Games playlist. But yeah, it is a very, very bizarre game. Now onto the Spectrum games. Now this first one, I don't think I've ever played it in the arcades, but I do recognise the artwork from the magazine advertisements from back in the day. And that is Ninja Spirit. So all these games are complete, and I love how there's little pamphlets inside. So this one, and I think it was Hot Rod, has got the same piracy warning. So this disc will give you hours of fun, and this disc could give you 6 months in prison. So yeah, don't pirate games, kids. I never did. And the next one on the spectrum is one I have played in the arcades. It's a great shooter. I've never played it on the Commodore. I've seen it being played on the Amstrad, but this is the first time playing it on the Spectrum, and that is the classic arcade shooter UN Squadron. And the final game on the Spectrum I had on the Commodore. So when I saw this, I was hoping it was for the Commodore 64, because it doesn't actually say what it's for on the spine. So when I pulled it out, I saw that it was for the Spectrum, and I just bought it anyway. And that is The Running Man, based on the 1987 film starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. And of course that's complete with the little instruction booklet. And I've also noticed that for some reason all the text on the back of the box is in German, I think. Yeah, must be. And on to the last two games, which are for the Amiga. Now this first one I've already got. I bought it a few years ago, but it didn't work. It didn't load up, so I just saw it, and it's in a slightly better condition box, so I just bought it again. And that is the Hit Squad re-release of Smash TV. Now this is a very good port of the arcade classic, and I just love how it gives you the option of using 2 joysticks just like in the arcade. So one joystick to move your character and the other joystick to fire in all directions. Now this last one, I was so disappointed when I captured the footage for this game. So it's a game I love on the Commodore 64 and the Amstrad. I don't think I've played it on the Spectrum. And it's only recently I found out that it got released on the Amiga. And I kind of wish it wasn't. And again, it's a Hit Squad re-release, and that is the god-awful port of Platoon. So yeah, it is horrendous. It just looks like they've just done a straight conversion of either the Commodore 64 or the Amstrad. There's no graphical enhancements whatsoever. The music's great, but the game just plays awful. The enemy bullets are so small you can't see them, so you've not got time to react. You can see the tripwires to a degree, but the enemies just come out of nowhere, and like I said, you just don't have any time to react at all. So I did have to put a cheat on just to see a little bit more of the game to capture the footage. And yeah, I don't think I'm going to be playing that again anytime soon. So those are the games I got from Vintage Gamer, and it's a great shop, so if you're in the Halesowen area or indeed in the West Midlands, be sure to check it out, and I'll be seeing those guys again at Birmingham Gaming Market in May. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care, bye!